about all sorts of things, dogs and tennis balls. And Kim is going to talk to us about why most people fail online, and it's an area that Kim knows very well. And it's all about building authority. Welcome to the show, Kim.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And Kim, what is going on with people online that you are talking to, and what is their biggest pain and frustration that you're helping them with?
Okay, it's online, and it's actually any business I'm finding nowadays because every business has to have an online presence. I started real estate back in '99 when it was just beat the streets, and now it's like you got to beat the streets and you got to be online. So, I find a lot of people, they get stuck focused on the center. So we think of this as like a bullseye. It's a layer, right? So in the very center, what does every business want to do? And if a woman out there goes, I want to change the world, that's not the answer. It's not the answer, ladies. And it's why we're not making the money. So at the very center of your business bullseye is money. Your next is authority. You have to have authority for people to give you their money. People work really hard for their money. So why would they give it to you? And they're going to give it to you because they view you as the authority in the field that they are looking to learn from, engage, employ, or get an asset from, right? The next level from that is awareness. And that's the bullseye area I work in. And then the next level out there is your messaging. And that's where a lot of like brand strategists and different coaches work in, right? So there's really 4 layers to getting a buck in your pocket. And unfortunately, most people don't realize this. They'll just think a PR person or a business coach or something online is going to help them get all that. But the reality is that when you look at an Olympic athlete, they'll have their coach for their actual technique. And then they'll have, I'm moving my screen over here, so I'm looking more at the screen. But they'll have their coach for technique. They'll have their they'll have their masseuse or their physician. Then they're going to have their nutritionist. And then a lot of times they're going to throw in a psychologist. And that's how you get to the athlete at the Olympics. And the reality is we're all working in some sort of, you have to be an Olympian in order to win business. So I work in the awareness space. So I work with a lot of brand strategists and coaches. And my whole goal is to get them to organize their message in a cohesive, streamlined platform, all the way from video documentation to a published author to speaking sizzle reel, and have all the assets that they can put on their front of funnel. And if you don't know what a front of funnel is or an opt-in value offer, you really, 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 really need that brand strategist. You need somebody to really teach you, because I'm going to give you the assets, but if you don't know what to do with it, then it doesn't really help, right? And then that with your brand strategist or your marketing strategist, your coach, and all the assets I put in there, then that moves you into the next layer, which is knowing how to move through social media and push all this content out. So I'm into content creation and making people look really good. That's my whole goal, is how do you give credibility, confidence, and relevancy. That's what I do, is I put the proof behind those.
And I think that this stuff, I love this stuff. This is probably, in my opinion, this is what people should be focusing on. And even though you were very diplomatic and you were talking about the Olympian with all the different areas, I really feel like this is the one area that people neglect. And if they could just focus on this area, they will have that aha moment. And the branding.
Sorry,
Wow.
my camera is driving me crazy.
Earthquake! Oh, no.
There we go. now centered. Sorry. ADHD, folks. That's why I make great content. Okay,
Hey,
go ahead. Sorry, Julian.
yeah, so I was just saying, I really feel like it's the most important thing. And when you do realize that this is what you should be focusing on. And I'm really interested in a lot of what you were saying. And you were saying the first thing was authority. Is that what you said?
The very first thing in your bullseye of business is money. Money. And you will not get money without authority. You will not get authority without awareness. And you cannot create authentic awareness without proper messaging. And
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. And what would be the first step in building authority? And you did mention a sizzle reel and a book. Tell us about that and why that's a big deal.
Okay. So in the United States, less than 3% of people, adults, actually are recognized published authors. There's different layers to publishing. I'm in a middle layer, right? You got a high end and you got the self. I'm in the middle. We kind of work where we work with a publishing house, a recognized 32-year-old publishing house out of the UK. But we work much like a self-published, so we can bring that cost down. Because I do understand why people don't do this is because it's expensive. They look at $10,000 for a video. They look at the $8,000 to $10,000 to get a book done, to have it properly legals done proper on it. You don't want to get sued. Books are forever, folks. Make sure you do it right. So sizzle reels, video. YouTube is the second top searched search engine. It's huge. And if you don't have your sizzle reels and your content on YouTube and tagged, you're not going to have anything you can send somebody. So when Jillian calls up and says, hey, I'd love to have you on this, we're going to have a summit panel on building business when it worked. But I need you to send me a sizzle reel. And that sizzle reel we're going to play on our events page so people can get to know and get excited about our speakers. Can you send me something? Most people have nothing. So it really, if you want to play and make the big money, if you want to play with the big boys, you have to have big boys, big girls, whichever. Sorry, I'm old, folks. Work with me. I'm just learning the whole woke language. But the reality is most people don't have they have spent so much money on picking the right colors for their brand or the cool t-shirts that they don't realize nobody cares. Nobody cares. It is a if you have one, it's like trying to drive a car with 3 wheels. Well, I have 3 really good wheels. You need 4. You need 4 wheels to get that car down the road. Doesn't matter how good anything else is if you don't have things. And basically that's what I am. I'm what you send in when you want to prove that you are worthy of being on that stage, that you are worthy of that client, that you are worthy of that transaction. So that's what I do. And that's most people, well, women. Okay, I'm going to challenge every woman out there and they're going to get so mad at me. Women don't invest the money, and yet women have incredible voices and they could really make more money in this. The average coach makes less than $46,000 a year, and they say that the average home-based business, small business, takes $30,000 a year to run. These are all U.S. numbers, just so everybody knows. I base everything off the U.S. because, kind of like, I don't know, Toronto thinks it's the center of Canada. U.S., we base everything off the USD. So the reality is that women will come up with, they always have 3 excuses of why they won't do this. And the first one is, I need to check with my husband. That's the first one. And then they never get back to you. They just ghost. The second one is, I'm not sure if I'm ready. I'm not sure if I'm ready. And the last one is, I don't have any money. Well, you don't have any money because you're not investing the money in the right place. If you don't, you cannot go and open a donut shop without buying ovens. Great, you got the space. Cool sign. But you have no donuts. You can't make donuts without ovens. Like, I'm throwing so many analogies out here because I work with people across every field. Know, like, trust. You read Bob Berg, The Go-Giver? This is no?
No, but I love no like trust.
Yeah. Okay. So Bob Berg wrote a book. And coined the phrase "no like trust." This is one book, so The Go-Giver, and that's all backwards, so nobody can see it. And the other one, The Go-Givers Sell More. I built $1 million business on hosting events and serving people, and I wasn't paid to host events. I was paid to sell real estate. But what do homeowners do? They live and work within their community. And if you host a garage sale, guess what? I got all their information. I know what they're selling. I know that they're thinking of moving up. Oh my God, they just had another baby. They need another bedroom. I built a 6 and 7 figure residual business like every year. I'm semi-retired out of real estate, and I'm still making close to $250,000 a year. You don't do that by not building. And I built things through being showing up, having my video assets, being recognized as a local authority, having print products within the local grocery stores, and building those businesses. But you have to have all of your assets, and they have to know you, to like you, to trust you. Nobody's going to give their money away these days.
Yeah. People, and they really want to work with people that they know, like, and trust. And the other thing is that people, it's going to touch on something else that you said earlier, where people are unsure how to sell their service, so they're just listing it on the website. And you talked about having like a front end product. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Your OVO is what is an opt-in value offer, and you should have 2 or 3. And these are where you get the emails, download my free download. Well, these take time. And if you actually build one, you'll know how long it does take in order to put properly curated content. Having a front of funnel product, especially when it's related to something that is visibly valuable. So one of the things that we do in ours is, because we do multi-author curated content. So basically it's the Resilient Woman book franchise. And within the book franchises is different niche products. So right now we're completing the In Business and the Life After Divorce. And so these are going to be experts in these fields, from finance, right? Finance, marital, navigating dating. I mean, it could be anything, but they have a ideal client or an ideal stream that is within that book niche. So what we do is we actually, unlike most books companies, what we do is we actually take that person's contribution, and we'll put the book jacket on it. We put all of the kind of the guts. So this is kind of like the opening, the intro, outro, any of the kind of the pieces that I've curated go in there automatically. And that gets sent back to them as a PDF that is a mini version of the full book that is found on Amazon. So then they can put that as a front of funnel product, and that can either go into a product like ClickFunnels, where you are streaming and looking for first time clients within that niche, or it's a really great way to engage past clients that you haven't heard from for a while, because it's a whole lot cheaper for referral business and past client repeat business than it is to generate new business. Like I said, I'm still making, even though I'm semi-retired from real estate, I'm still making close to $250,000 $250,000 a year in commissions just from that referral and repeat, those past clients. I'm not actively farming for new business now. So, this is having these value opportunities are really important. So, and that's one of the things that I walk people through, so they've got their messaging and they've worked with a great brand strategist, or it's intuitive to them. Then we bring them into and we get them, a video documentary. So here in Canada, we work with TELUS Optic. So TELUS Optic is one of the 3 major telecommunication companies in Canada, and they have what is called an OTT platform. OTT platforms are over the top. So when we see Netflix, Amazon Prime, here in Canada, we have Crave for HBO, any of those, Apple, any of those are what we call OTT, which means that they are not generalized broadcasts like what you get on YouTube, but they are a more of a restricted digital broadcast. So there's a higher level of broadcast that you would see. So it's closer to the traditional broadcast. You'll see like CNN, you'll see all of them, Sky TV, every major broadcaster now is on an OTT platform. So TELUS Optic has an OTT TELUS has an OTT platform called TELUS Optic, and so we're seeing our content seen on there. And right now we're negotiating this fall. It's not easy getting on these this fall. Amazon, Apple, and Roku in the United States, and then we'll be coming to Australia and UK when we get a chance with our Resilient TV. And
So
that's where we see.
Sorry. Are they like streaming all of the news stuff? Are they streaming, digital streaming?
It is on demand. Yes.
On demand.
So they're on demand. Now you'll get your channels like Samsung OTT is scheduled. So to go on a scheduled platform, we have to have 440 hours of original content. Just so you know, if to produce 1 hour is at a minimum of $13,000 minimum. Like this is like one person that we work to the bone in the back editing. So, you start calculating, that's a huge investment. And that's what we're currently working towards, is to create 440 hours of original content so we can actually meet the needs and demands of these scheduled on-demand OTT platforms.
And you're going to have your own show on there, or is this for clients?
This is actually our clients. So our clients all get a documentary, a mini documentary. We actually, it's self-filmed and then heavily edited on our side. And they go on to the Resilient TV. So Resilient TV we will have the Resilient Women's series. We'll have the Resilient Men's series. We also have independent movies that are being dropped into there. So we just had one dropped called The Healing, and it's about the Indigenous prayer circles. So, and it's about old and new world, kind of the clash and the tug and pull for a lot of these young people. And then we're loading all my older stuff. So I've hosted multiple red carpets in and around Banff and Calgary in Canada. And then I have had 70 half-hour episodes of broadcast variety shows. So I was on Shaw TV and then on CTV. So hosting variety community-based television. So basically a 3-set setup. It's all that standard kind of run of show where, you have your 3 sets and you have your interview, your activity, and your feature. And that's what I did from 2015 to 2018, 19.
You're killing it, Kim.
Oh, you know what? I just love people, and I want to see more people be successful. I don't think people need billions of dollars. I think that the rest, I think I'd rather see more millionaires and fewer billionaires, which means the money's being generated. So where's your piece? So here's a stat for you guys, for all your audience out there. In 2019, before the pandemic started, Forbes cited that the online coaching and education space was valued at $117 billion in 2019. And they predicted in 2019 that by 2025, that market will be $350 billion. Now, I'm going to go on record, and I've gone on record several times before. I believe because of the pandemic and the way we have shifted the way we work, and Bill Gates said, and very true, that we literally shifted the way we engage, work, and communicate forward by 10 years in literally 18 months. I predict that in 2025, that online money will actually be closer to $450 billion globally. Because we're seeing women in India who, they've got, all you need is a phone now to start a business. A phone, a brain, and belief. You have to have belief in yourself, right? And so I could just keep asking everybody, why are you settling for $46,000? Why? I came from Kansas, from a trailer park. I came from a trailer park with no high school education. And there's no rhyme or reason as to why I, in the last decade, have generated nearly $10 million personally. And you're still stuck at $46,000 a year. And, I just, instead of saying, why me, say, why not me? I've always believed that. I always believed. I guess that's the benefit of coming from a crappy childhood and poverty, is that you get a little bit and go, oh, okay, well, why not me? Why not me? I'm like a parrot. Why not me?
And what's the worst that can happen are the people out there that I think are really liking what they're hearing from you. I mean, have a go and speak to somebody like Kim, who is lightning in a bottle and I think can help you. And Kim, what's the first port of call that people should do? Do you have a product that they can go and see on your website that is probably the first port of call for them?
Absolutely. Just come and join. We have a membership there that is for women at this point in time. Just come and join that. It's that first step to kind of get to know me. And if you decide that you like me, then you know what, then trust me and we can work together. We do have our community expert, which is a very kind of it's the rudimentary foundation of how I built a $1 million real estate business, and it's how to engage within your community and identify the 8 key communities that you should be leveraging to generate money. And it's not your friends and family. Just so everybody knows, those friends and family, if you're still counting on them buying everything you're selling, you're gonna, go beyond the friends and family. You're going to find fans. You don't want friends, family, you want fans.
Raving fans. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I've got Kim's website there, resilientseries.com. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Awesome. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on, Kim. A lot of really good information and energy.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. And I wish we were having the hottest February ever. Or hottest March. We're minus 16 today. So
you know what? That sounds wonderful, Kim.
We'll have to meet in the middle. We'll have to meet in the middle, Julian.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you on another episode very soon. Thanks, Kim. Quick, stop the stream. There we go.